So that's what's happening with both the current president and former president. Let's make some sense of it tonight. Nelson Balido is here with us to help us do that. Chairman of the Border, Commerce, and Security Council, founder of Balido and Associates, has a long tenure in national security and the border. So, Nelson, did we learn anything today about policy, about strategy we didn't already know?
Chance, good to be with you this afternoon. No, look, we didn't learn anything new. What I was hoping that we would hear is, how do we start pushing the border back? In other words, really, we keep playing the football on our border on the 1 yard line when we should be playing on the 50-yard line. I was hoping to hear something like, how are we going to pressure the Mexican government, the Guatemalan government, the Salvadorian government, and many others on doing their part? I was hoping to see those types of solutions instead of building another wall or doing some new technology. And sure, we need those things for those that normally would not be able to cross. But when you have asylum seekers that are looking and turn themselves in, there's no wall too big enough to stop anybody that's not running from it. These people are just turning themselves in, looking for our guys, and they're going through the process. But, you know, that's hard to explain.
Well, yeah.
And look, when you have the number one trading partner for Mexico is the United States, and vice versa. We got to be careful what we do there as well.
At the same time, Nelson, we do see with Gallup, the border is now the number one issue for American voters. And for the first time ever, building a wall is a majority of Americans that they support that. You said that's not maybe feasible, but voters want action. That's clear. What can a president do? Do they want the border sealed? Do they want deportations? What is it?
Well, I think part of it is going to be some deportations. And I'm not saying a wall's not needed. A wall is a layered defense approach, right? It's certainly not the only thing that's needed. It's part of the overall. But one of the things that I always say that incentivizes people to come to this country is the opportunities. And with that opportunity is really sending money back to their home countries. For the number 2, number 3 GDP for many of these countries is remittances back. Yeah. So if you disincentivize that, and you start looking at how do we put people, we bank them. In other words, instead of going with cash to fund illegal entries, human trafficking, fentanyl, or just simply to pay eggs and milks for mom back home, and we have to, now you have to have a bank account so we know who's sending, who you're sending to, and how much you're sending to. That starts disincentivizing people coming over here at all. These are simple things that can be put in place that are not put in place. This disincentivizes overall. Certainly we need border control. I'm not saying we don't. And the men and women on our front line, the guys in green, I work with them often, are heroes by all stretch of the imagination. But I will say that there's other things that we put in place. We need to stop them from even getting to our wall.
Gotcha. As far as simplicity, though, we've known for at least a week that President Biden is thinking about executive action, maybe doing a new rule through an agency that would take a little bit longer, but he's weighing this, tighten the border up. What's he waiting for?
Well, that's a $25,000 question. I don't know what he's waiting for. He should have done this years ago. You're looking at the numbers of we're averaging 255,000 people per month this fiscal year alone, starting on October 1st. Last year we had 2.4 million come through, but we're on a trajectory to hit 3 million this year if by the time Biden gets out of the White House, or if he remains, who knows? But either one, these are things that need to be shut down. It's taxing our taxpayers all over. They come with health issues. And, one of the things that we do need to talk about is not everybody that comes to this country are rapists or killers or anything. That's not the case. Some of these people are real legitimate folks that just simply want a better life for themselves. But the issue is there's so many millions coming over that even if half of 1%, which would equal tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, that are perhaps nefarious, that is absolutely too many. And the other thing that's not talked about is the other 25% of the people that are what they call gotaways, that we have
that they never
understanding who they are, where they come from, and what their intentions are.
Which could amount to 1 million people. But I'm glad that you point out that many Americans, they feel this is a net good. And also we benefit financially in many ways, but it is, how do you get your arms around this? Nelson Balido, Chairman of the Border, Commerce, and Security Council. Thank you so much.